So this time when I killed Plantera, the message didn't pop up. So I didn't get ore to mine, but I did get perennial ore slimes. I get it.
You had to think.
I don't get it. Happy holidays, ladies and gentlepugs. 'Tis I, your lord, the King Pug Gaming, and welcome back to episode 12 of this Let's Play the Calamity Mod Season 1. At the moment I'm vandalizing my 2 inventories since I had to deal with a bit of a slime rain. And it's something this squirrel demon here will pay for with his life. Trying to make the slime take my crown? You need better minions. So today, what I have in mind is to fight 2 more bosses, Anahita and the Leviathan and Astrum Aureus, and maybe get a peek at the Great Sand Shark, if possible. But first, let's get ourselves a new modded armor set. After all, when we killed Plantera, new ore sprouted underground. Let's just take a quick look at the map and just see if we can find it anywhere here. Okay, why is it doing that? Ah, there it is. Perennial ore, and it's light green. Well, specifically lime. So, it's pretty easy to find. But let's just go underground and see if it has a unique trait that makes it even easier to find. 19.5 hours later. This is confusing me. I'm sure I killed Plantera last time and spawned perennial ore. Yet why do I not see any chunks of it that were on the minimap right here? Something fishy is going on. I'll kill Plantera again just to discover this mysteriousness. Don't know, but once I kill Plantera, I'm just gonna find out if it didn't spawn at all in the world, or my world is just too old for new ores to spawn in the first place. Oh, that's right, I need chlorophyte ore for something in the future. I got those achievements back in 1.4, and I got photosynthesis back in 1.3. Why would I need to collect it again? Alright Plantera, I have to kill you again just to solve this mystery. So please, excuse this fight. Just for a moment. So this time when I killed Plantera, the message didn't pop up. So I didn't get ore to mine, but I did get perennial ore slimes. I get it.
You had to think.
I don't get it. Alright, I just need to clarify this with me. Well, myself. That's what perennial ore looks like. But I haven't seen so much of it underground. The only way I'm getting it is just by killing slimes. This shouldn't be the only way. So why? Why didn't you let me know where it was, Calamity? And if it wasn't already in spots that I saw on the minimap, where else could it be? Tell me! Alright, I need to get the facts straight. Perennial ore is supposed to be rare, found very close to the underworld, and on the minimap when it comes to the color scheme, it looks like chlorophyte. So why am I not seeing it? It should have spawned in the last episode. And nothing. I'll test my luck again one more time. I'll just look it up on the minimap, and then if I see something like green that says perennial, I'm going down to see if it's there. If it's not, I'm killing slimes just for perennial ore. That's it. Alright, got my Spelunker potion. Got the map open. Look for something that says perennial. If I can control the map. There it is. There's plenty close by in the crimson. Plenty right here, and it's very close to lava. So, use the pylon, teleport underground, and find it. Right now I'm just keeping my eye on the ores thing, or treasure detector. Because at the moment I'm seeing orichalcum and astral ore, mainly because we're underground and close to the underground astral infection, which is not where I need to be. At the moment I need to be searching for perennial ore. Okay, let's see. Where's the closest large chunk of perennial ore? Down there close to lava. Let's just take care of this crimson mimic real quick, and there, and just dig down. If it isn't anywhere there, I'm just gonna flip out. Okay, there's some right there. Titanium is close by. Let's see, is it here? Did I seriously kill Plantera? Just for nothing? I'm starting to lose my mind over the fact that in this world, they probably made perennial ore the hardest to obtain. Because now instead of just mining, I have to constantly kill hard mode ore slimes, which are uncommon! Okay, fine. If that's all you want me to do, kill hard mode ore slimes just to get ore, fine, I'll do it. If that's what you want. Wait, when did I get another blossom flux? What is going on? Okay, I'm losing it. I don't get perennial ore, but I get 2 blossom fluxes. This is just madness. I'm starting to lose it. Alright then, fine. We'll just craft anything out of chlorophyte and perennial ore with the amounts we have. Let's just teleport back, eat a chicken nugget because I'm hungry, and we'll convert everything we got into bars. Alright, the chicken nugget fell into the void bag. Nuts. Here we go, convert all the chlorophyte ore we have into bars. 54, that's enough for a whole armor set, and perennial ore into bars, only got 18. Not enough for a lot of things. But with the chlorophyte stuff, we can definitely make plenty. And perennial bars, we can make some things, but not too much since we don't have the actual ore in the world, which sucks. But I'm just gonna look around here just to see if anything's a material. Why am I getting achievements I collected in 1.3 and 1.4 now? This is getting ridiculous. Okay, in terms of chlorophyte weapons, the chlorophyte partisan is a material, so let's just craft that and see what it can be made into. Just get that out of there. The Terra Lance, Dark Lance, Gungnir, and 12 living shards. We can make that right now. So, let's do it. Empty out my inventory. So, Blossom Flux and other weapons, I'm gonna have to put y'all down. For a while. I may need you in case I need to craft some new weapons. Carnage is not a material, so no, I will not. What other weapons do I need to put away? Blossom Flux? Yeah, I'm not a ranger, but it is a cool weapon. Get them living shards out there. Good. And then we just need a Dark Lance and a Gungnir. Those are easy to manage. And Gungnir I can get easily since I can craft it. And the Dark Lance I have to find in the underworld. And also, since we killed Plantera, we gotta open up the biome chest to get new weapons too. Alright, got Gungnir. There we go. And we should also not forget that I also have an Excalibur with me. And with that, we can also craft a Terra Blade. Alright. Let's just go into here and grab our Excalibur. And then go back to the anvil and get the true Excalibur, which looks nice now. We need a broken hero sword too. I killed too many calamities off camera. What is the proper noun for it? Dunno, but we have a lot of broken hero swords for any weapon. And then we can craft the Terra Blade. 75 benefit from attack speed boost. Yeah, this is amazing. It sucks that it got nerfed, but it's got insanely big projectiles. And it is a material, probably just for the Zenith. And the Terra Tamir. This is probably post-provident. Let's just check my chest to see if I have a shadow key. So that way we can head to the underworld and get a dark lance real quick. Yes, we do. Now, let's go look for a dark lance. Alright, shadow chest. Do you have a dark lance? No, you have a sun fury. That anyone useful? The tumbleweed. But this is only obtained by getting the great sand shark. Well, we may get to that. That is a shadow mimic from an old sprite. I know a shadow mimic when I see one. Dark lance, please. Flower fire. Nope. A treasure magnet. You gotta have the dark lance. Another flower fire. Slice of hell cake. He hasn't learned how to. The baby imp hasn't learned how to teleport yet. That's for his parents to teach, not me. Alright, dark lance, flower fire. Aw, come on. There has to be another shadow chest around here somewhere, right? Ridiculous. I can't just keep searching for chests until I get to the crags. Well, there is one right there. Lucky me. Just need to settle down. There you go. Come on, big money, dark lance. Come on, don't let me down, shadow chest. Let me down and not crash. Hey, dark lance. Oh, we've been needing you for a while, pal. Welcome to the party. Alright then, let's craft that new weapon. But first, we need to space out the entire inventory again. Okay, let's just find out where we put the shadow key. Ah, right here. Alrighty. Let's see, can chlorophyte bars be made into anything else useful right now? The blighted cleaver, yes. But we don't have the caustic edge. I find it nice that they actually reference Master Chief's armor in here. So at the moment, chlorophyte can be turned into nothing more, so we'll just leave that in here. So, I'm gonna teleport back, if I can just calm down. Teleport, and go into the void bag real quick and get all those spears out so I can craft the Terra Lance, Gunir, Chlorophyte Partisan, and the Dark Lance. Let's just see. What are we missing? Living shards. Yep, and there we have it. The Terra Lance. 175 melee damage, 45% crit chance, average speed, insane knockback. And it's still a material. Fires a Terra energy beam. And to make it, you need the Chlorophyte Partisan, a Dark Lance, a Gunir, and 12 living shards. Oh, pierces through walls. But I just want to see how effective it really is. It looks like a fun weapon, but you just have to see. It's nice that the projectiles can go through blocks, but how many times can they pierce an enemy? I mean, there wasn't that many enemies right now, so that wasn't a good test. Alrighty then, I'm just gonna go to this little box I formed down here and farm for some perennial slimes, and then I'll be right back.
19.5 hours later.
I'm just sitting here with my loot magnet now, just collecting everything, especially perennial ore. Just have to wait. And yeah, everything will be fine. Okay, we currently have an encounter with an armored digger. Now, just gotta teleport out here so I don't get myself killed. And we have an earth elemental right here. A combination of two deadly things. And this armored digger is gonna go down right about now. And he dropped a lot of stuff. But yeah, he did hurt me a lot. Well, this is something. Celestial Claymore. Cool. Alright, I think I got enough perennial ore for about everything. So, teleport back to base. And you know, restock everything just before we go into the final crafting recipes. Now I have 264 perennial ore, which is more than enough for everything. But yeah, now let's just get this show on the road. Switch back to my main loadout, and then once we get to the forge, convert all the perennial ore into bars. Now we have 83. That is plenty for everything. But I'm more interested in the Reaver armor set. But first, I need an armor stand. Mannequins. This is Terraria, not Minecraft, Buggy. Thank you for reminding me. Alright, and down you go. And on top, you will get the Daedalus armor set. And of course, the summoner helmet is in the chest since I bought the Tiki armor from the Witch Doctor. So, yeah, now we get to craft a brand new armor set. It doesn't matter what kind of class we are, this one's for everyone. The Reaver helmet. the Reaver quizzes, and last but not least, the Reaver scale mail. Perfect. Up. 113 defense. I may be unstoppable now. But let's look at the whole set. Reaver helm, 30 defense, 15% increased damage reduction, but 30% decreased damage. I see some bull crap coming up from this here. What is this bull crap? Plus 50 max life. Restores 1 HP every second. This is applied separately from life regeneration. Set bonus plus 10 defense and plus 1.5 HP per second life regeneration. Enemies are more likely to target you. Reduces the life regeneration loss from damage over time. Debuffs by 20%. All attacks have a small chance to steal life and speed up the rate of life regeneration. 20% decrease movement speed and flight time. Energy damage is reflected and summons a Thorn Spike. Reaver Rage has a 25% chance to activate when you're damaged. Cool. Reaver Scale Mail, 19 defense, 9% increased damage and 14% increased crit chance, and plus 20 max life. And the Reaver Quizzes, 14 defense, 5% increased crit chance, and 12% increased movement speed. Not bad, but it sucks that we lose damage. Maybe I want to craft some of the weapons made with these bars. No, I'll save them just in case I need them for life alloy in the future. It's time to prepare for the next 2 boss fights. One of them has to be done in the Astral Infection and the other in the ocean. But first of all, I need to find all my Stardust, which is more than 5,000 since the Astral Infection is right next to me. Alright, let's just look for the summoning item. That's for Astrum Deus. I'm looking for the summoning item for Astrum Aureus, the Astral Chunk. That's easy to make. Alright, now it's time. Astral Chunk summons Astrum Aureus when used in the Astral Infection. Enrages during the day while outside the Astral Infection. Not consumable. The Infection's fortress has found another target. And to make it, you need 30 Stardust and 20 Fallen Stars. That's a lot. But each and every one of those materials are easy to gather, so no worries. I'll just make the Comet Shard just in case I need it. Okay, my mana stars definitely changed colors, but I can't tell what color they are now. But they look nice. Alright, now let's get this battle started. Okay, I'm happy that you didn't deal damage as soon as you landed on top of me. Astrum Aureus has awoken. very end, that's what's happening. Oh, we have done it! The astral enemies have been empowered. A faint ethereal click can be heard from the dungeon. Astrum Aureus has been defeated. Gerete desu, koitsu wa. Oh, I remember for a long time that this guy gave me a lot of trouble. But now? No, with this Terra Blade, easy. And hey, we got the trophy first try. Let's just see what's in the treasure bag. Aureus cells, a lot of fallen stars. Alola Australis fires a beautiful aurora trailed by a star shower. Nice. Suspicious looking jelly bean. Gravistar Sabaton. Straight fuel cell. Permanently increases adrenaline mode damage by 15% and damage reduction by 5%. Yes! And the Nebulash. Fires a whip sword that emits particles and an explosion upon hit. Nice. Pre-Moon Lord Solar Eruption. And what's the best part about the Nebulash? I got a godly one first try. And I can't wait to test it out. So you know what? Here we go again. Hey, not bad. But we gotta keep our distance from Astrum Aureus to deal a significant amount of damage. Down you go again, Astrum Aureus. Down to eternal slumber. Been fun, but now you need to say goodbye to your homeland. And there we go. You've been defeated yet again. When did I get an abandoned slime staff? Okay. Let's just see what it does. We can't use it. Must be used from the hot bar. Oh, okay. Now I know. Okay. Is that the Astral Geldon slime? From older versions? Well, welcome back. Time to read something. Astrum Aureus, ever pragmatic, Drayton dispatched this machine to locate and analyze the source of the astral infection. While nominally for reconnaissance, the Aureus model is heavily armed and can scale any terrain. It performed admirably, at least until it was assimilated infection. Sapient minds have enough willpower to resist the infection's call indefinitely. However, since the finest silicon is not beyond its reach, Drayton prefers his creations to serve after all. With this experiment concluded, he will certainly be examining you next. Watch yourself. Will do. And now it's time to head to the ocean in order to fight the Leviathan. But unfortunately we have NPCs living here, so casualties may happen. Yeah, some serious ones too. Where are you going? Hold on a second. Alright, there we go. Got all the weapons we need. And now, back to the ocean so we can fight the Leviathan. Well then, I've been waiting for you. Now then, shall we start this fight? We shall, right here, right now. Anahita has awoken. Where did Anahita go? I have a feeling something big's happening. The music just changed. The Leviathan has awoken. Miss Anahita is now just sitting back while I constantly fight the Leviathan. Fine by me. Oh, Leviathan took out everyone in the town. Oh, in the entire submarine. That was a ruthless onslaught. So now he can fight both Anahita and the Leviathan at the same time. But does killing one end the fight immediately? The Leviathan looks like it just got enraged. Oh, just got adrenaline. With rage, do your thing. And that's the end. The Leviathan and Anahita have been defeated. Now we got the lords of both the Abyss and along with the Leviathan. Interesting. So what do I think about the two since the past few years since I've last fought them? Did they get harder? Yes and no. They're still about the same. The only issue I have is, well, the transition. Last time I fought them, I never remembered a Leviathan Anahita immediately going into phase 2. Oh, we got the community first try? Leviathan Ambergris, Brackish Flask, Gastric Belcher Staff, and the Green Tide. Ooh, we got a lot of good stuff from the Leviathan. Anyways, let's read what Yarm has to say about both the Leviathan and the Abyss. The Abyss. While there are many sightless surfaces in the deep sea, this one is a geological marvel. It is located unsettling close to the shoreline. Somehow, even eons of tectonics could not seal or crush it. The isolated Abyss is debatably tranquil home of the Naiad, Anahita, and other reclusive sea creatures. Here I dispose of the burgeoning remains of Silva, the goddess of life itself. Obviously, she of all gods refused to truly die. My wishes were that she would be forgotten, but her tenacity and very willpower is remarkable. Diffused, her influence inundated that pit of crushing pressure with flora and fauna of Pentley. Her great roots continued to thrash and tear apart the impossibly dense stone, growing uncontrollably. She will soon remake it in her image. I can think of no worse fate for this accursed Hadal domain. And the Leviathan and Anahita. Although she claims dominion over all the world's oceans, in truth, she is a recluse of the deep. Elementals such as her pose a grave threat to all of those around them. Other elementals are no exceptions. Anahita was driven from her home in the Abyss by Silva's encroaching greenery. Accounts vary as to the majestic beast at her side. Some claim Anahita summoned the Leviathan herself. Regardless of what you believe, they are inseparable even in death. Such stalwart loyalty, it reminds me of Yaron. Yaron! I'm going to burn that chicken alive when I get the chance! Mark my words, Yaron. I will burn Yaron alive. So, this is the end. Had plenty of enjoyable boss fights, and we beat them all in the first try. Kinda like last time except with the Brimstone Elemental. So yeah, this is the end of the episode. So, I hope y'all have enjoyed watching me lose my sanity, and as always, thanks for watching y'all. Have a nice day, grab some snacks cause the lores of all of these bosses combined are gonna be incredibly long. So stay festive and also pugtastic. Lore of Astrum Aureus. When the astral virus first appeared in Terraria to warp the landscape around it, the site became a phenomenon of interest to Yarm himself. What destructive power, what force of chaos could have made such drastic changes in a phage that it could assimilate nearly any material into something similar to its own molecular structure? Commissioning Drayden to research the pathogen, Yarm had him look for a method to take advantage of the virus' virtually alchemic traits, to see if they could be harnessed to serve his needs. Of course, Drayden's first step was to collect samples. To accomplish this objective, he decided to once more construct an automation to do his bidding. Although his assistants were at his disposal, he decided against it, as the environment would clearly not be suitable for humans. However, his blunder was in underestimating the enslaving factor of the astral virus. Even the circuit boards and metal of the great machine he had built to lumber across the infected landscape and bring back subjects to come to the enslaving will of the pathogen. However, this was by no means a disappointment to Drayden. To him, this was a sign of great promise, showing that the extent of the virus power was not limited to organic beings. Finding no need for the great machine any longer, Drayden abandoned it. Now, it stays dormant in the astral biomes, only awaking to protect these infections from outside threats. Lore of the Siren Anahita. The mysterious creature that had found and aided the old Leviathan had a long and troubled story of her own. She was born into a floating city built by a civilization that worshipped the living siren goddess. Only the high caste sirens, handpicked by the goddess, were allowed to reproduce. The children were given to other sirens to foster. One particularly weak newborn was handed over to a troublesome siren who lived on the fringes of the city. The city's cruel laws often led to long periods of exile as punishment for insubordination to other troubles, and the elites believed raising a child could help reform this siren spirit. The outcast siren accepted the feeble child and gave him name Nalin. Growing up outside of the city's norms, Nalin experienced a very unusual childhood compared to a typical siren. After learning of the twisted law of the species and the experiences of her own parent, Nalin grew to despise the group, beginning to consider it a cult. The elite of the city determined that Nalin's upbringing and attitude was unacceptable. Nalin was only 14 when she returned home to find two zealots standing over the crumpled corpses of her mother. They bound her and brought her back to the city for cult indoctrination, gagging her when she screamed and rebelled. Nalin spent the next several years serving the siren cult, feigning obedience and climbing the ranks in the hopes that one day she could escape her waking nightmare. She would prepare for years to grasp a chance. A chance would soon come, disguised as a catastrophe. The city was thrown to the winds of the ocean current, and one day drifted near the mouth of a massive abyss. Knowing full well the dangers of the deep, the worshippers immediately took action, closing off many of their open streets and propelling their home further from the mouth of the cave. However, as it was too late, rising from the darkness, a massive beast, a true Leviathan, roared in displeasure, and it would take all they had to even escape alive from its jaws. Nalin would take advantage of this. Earlier that day, she had been entrusted with guard duty in the inner temple by the elite who had assumed her indoctrination was successful. It had been her chance to steal a powerful weapon and make an escape. This was made only easier by the Leviathan's rage. As massive tremors rumbled through the halls, most of the surrounding guards barked orders in confusion, and many left to help defend the walls. In seconds, she had left alone in an area to guard the innocent. Only those who were in possession of the two key parts to the sacred weapon were left behind. Panicked and hopelessly frightened, Nalin, however, had nothing to lose compared to those who had lived decadent and opulent lifestyles within the temple complex. In a flash, she had slammed her spear into the back of one's helmet, knocking them unconscious and turning the corner, buried it into the gut of the other, pinning them to the stone. Still gritting her teeth in determination, she tore the key pieces from the necks, even as the rumble tumbled from the ceiling above. Hurriedly assembled them, opening the door to the mythical trident, Atlantis. Without hesitation, she grasped the weapon in her hands, snapping it from its pedestal. A surge of power flowed through her, as she felt the siren's powerful affinity with water coursing through her body. She heard shouts from outside. Another guard, probably having almost abandoned their post, rushed inside. Without hesitation, she spun the trident so its prongs pointed toward the unfortunate guard. The pressure surrounding her dropped with a lurch, and the sounds of shrieking metal mixed with screams filling the air, as the guard's armor collapsed in on itself. Turning her back on the bloody scene, she willed to the water within the chamber to burst the temple walls like an eggshell. Finally, she was free. Amidst the chaos of the city, as the Leviathan tore through its walls, and the sudden realization that they had been betrayed, Nellen shot upwards, aiming to reach the sun of the world above, and the freedom it represented to her. Later on, she would have time to stop, and remembering the creature who had allowed her to escape, she vowed that if ever the Leviathan would need aid, she would assist it in any way she could. Lord of the Leviathan. The beast we call the Leviathan has not always been the behemoth we know it as now. Once an armored angler of unknown origins, she spent much of her juvenile life in the depths of the oceans, preying upon any unfortunate enough to stray into her territory. It was clear, however, that she was no simple fish, constantly surrounded by the entourage of waiting males. The Leviathan was likely an alpha female, perhaps the very last of its kind. Many attempts by researchers to delve deeper into the habitats, however, have proven risky and were thus hardly undertaken, as there was little to be gained from such an expedition. And so, she lived a wanton life, devouring to her heart's content, finding little to oppose her. However, there would come a day when eventually a creature would escape her steely jaws, like a lantern in the deep night. A distant light flitted through the darkness. However, foolish it was to draw attention to oneself that enemy pit. It seemed that the creature was ignorant of danger, foolishly confident, lying in patient wait. The Leviathan hungrily eyed the dancing light. The chance soon came, with a roar and a surge of water, which likely raised turbulence even on the surface above. She charged for the jaws again to swallow the creature whole. And yet, the settling debris thrown up from the attack, the light flickering in the darkness, quickly shocked, but only for a second, as it soon departed. Having learned the dangers of the deep, the Leviathan herself lay stunned, but none had escaped so frivolously from long before. However, decades passed, and this singular incident soon faded from the Leviathan's memory. She continued to feast and grow, becoming larger and larger, until at one point, it became clear that her bulk would no longer allow her to hunt as efficiently as she had done before. In a cruel twist, the once terror of the deep became immobile and began to starve, no longer having the ability to sustain her massive physical form. She came to rest upon the muddy seabed, hardly able to rise from her position. Had anyone come across at that point, they might have mistaken her gargantuan form resting upon the seabed as a geological structure, so encrusted in barnacles and other ocean flotsam from age was she. And as the Leviathan began to close its eyes, perhaps for the final time, in its dim vision, it saw dancing light. The light flitted through the obsidian waters, like a lantern in a deep night, and the memory from all those years resurfaced. Angry and desperate, the Leviathan somehow found the energy to pull its massive form from the seabed, streaming, roaring weakly, to in its final moments, vanquish the one creature which might have reason and cause to look down on the proud, yet crippled threat. And crippled she was, unable to keep going. She collapsed once more at the seabed in a massive cloud of silk. In these moments, the light came closer, now rather be left to die in peace. Yet after a period of time, unmeasured from the Leviathan's perspective, as she had long since lost track of some trivial things, she felt something brushing her scarred snout. Once again, opening her eyes, she saw the creature which had visited before. From her arms, a massive trawler's net trailed behind her, filled with fish and attached to the drowned fishermen, who had likely once called that net their own. The creature smiled upon seeing that the Leviathan had noticed her. She swam into the Leviathan's slack jaws, fearless of her situation, and began to empty the net. However, even as the Leviathan gradually regained her former strength, she lay still, allowing the creature to roam unimpeded around her. It was now clear that this creature had shown nothing but good intent to her. It had an interest in the Leviathan, so when the creature began to beckon for the Leviathan to move once more, to follow her to the surface, it took only a moment of hesitation for the Leviathan to ascend, going slowly to acclimatize to the change in pressure. Nearer to the surface, though no beast of this size she used to devour lived there, she found an abundance of food. The siren, that was the creature was, lured unsuspecting sailors to the Leviathan's position, acting as a lure, in exchange of the company and safety of the massive beast. The siren's voice was both melodious and alluring, the ability to cloud the skies and obstruct vision and create a fantastical illusion, which entirely the bones would dissipate, never to be seen again. Under the siren's care and companionship, the Leviathan eventually regained his strength. The ancient beast would spawn legends at the complexity of unknown noise in the pit, and colossal shapes moving on the horizon. However, for the most part, the Leviathan lay dormant in the shallow water, resting in order to conserve his strength. This was a lifestyle now, and while it may not have suited the former terror of the youth, it did not mean she was a pacified beast. If any were to disturb its slumber or fall for the siren's illusion, she would awaken with the form of grandeur and devour the one who had strayed too far from the shore.